So I had 2 hours alone the other day and did something wild.
Ooh, what'd you do? Take a nap?
No, although that would have been nice. I dressed up, put on some makeup, made a fancy drink, and lit a candle
For who?
for me. It was my own date night. I even complimented myself.
Whoa, sister, you better settle down. You're gonna go falling in love with yourself.
Honestly, I think I might be the one. Hello and welcome to another edition of Adulthood is a Project, the show where two sisters discuss lessons learned and growth earned through the realities of life. I'm Charlie, and this is my sister Casey, and we're your hosts.
In today's episode, we will discuss learning to be alone. We will also discuss the ins and outs of why it can be hard for some and ways to help change that. Let's get started.
Ooh. All right, here we go.
Oh, man. All right. So today I was in charge of the quiz.
Yes, and I'm ready to win.
I'm like, honestly, if you don't nail this 5 for 5, I'm just gonna be so disappointed in you.
You're prejudging it. Is that because I've been alone so long? Like you should be an expert at this by now.
Should be.
Okay, I don't feel any pressure at all.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. So, all right, first question. What Jay-Z song declares that relationship drama isn't one of his concerns?
I'm not even sure who sings this, so I'm thinking I got 99 problems, but the bitch ain't one.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know who sings that song.
Well, I think what's funny is I think you and I both like the Hugo version of that song better,
Yes, we do.
but yeah. So I did
That's
think
funny.
of saying Hugo just to give you a little hint, but I was also like, listen, you know.
I'm like 99 problems. The bitch ain't one. Okay, now I want to go listen to that Hugo version again.
All right. What show features 4 single women navigating love, career, and brunch, with Samantha proving that being single isn't just an option, it's a lifestyle?
Okay, I'm pausing a moment, just if listeners want to think on it too. Sex in the City.
Yeah.
Great show, man. Great show.
All right, you're doing good, doing good.
I'm liking these.
In what classic novel does Mr. Darcy's romantic tensions derail the main character's perfectly peaceful single life and reading habits?
Oh, Rick. I feel like I'm going to fail this one. Because I want to say Persuasion. And I don't think it is Persuasion. But I know it's Jane Austen. And Mr. Darcy and Elizabeth.
All right. Is persuasion your final answer?
Yeah.
Incorrect.
What was the name of it? Now it's killing me.
Pride and Prejudice.
Pride and Prejudice. Damn it. And that's literally my favorite Jane Austen book, too, and I could not think of the name of it to save my life right now.
I know it's your favorite, and that's why I'm like, what the hell are you doing, dude?
I know. I'm like, literally my favorite Jane Austen book.
And I have never even read the damn thing.
Oh, what? Oh.
I gotta be honest, I'm not a huge Jane Austen fan.
Oh. I have a theory on that. Only because it took me 2 books. Like, I was determined to start reading it. And I got like 2 books in. I was like, this is really, it's written so differently than what we read these days. But by the second one, I felt like I could understand the language better, and I just couldn't stop. I just went on a spree.
Oh.
And read all of them back to back, pretty much. Okay. Man, I sucked at that. That was my own fault, too. I have no one to blame but myself.
Yeah. Stop sucking, dude.
Yeah.
Now, in true crime dramas, when someone turns up mysteriously dead, who is the person that detectives give the side eye to first?
It's the spouse. It's always the spouse.
It is the damn spouse.
Yes.
All right. Now, which film follows single guy Brian Flanagan, who's chasing his dreams of bar ownership until Jordan shows up and adds an emotional cocktail?
Cocktails and dreams. Well, it's just cocktail, but.
Yes.
That was awesome. I really bummed at myself about that Pride and Prejudice one, though. But
Listen, I know.
no, I know. I'm like, so dang, Cocktail. That's a great movie too. Those are good questions.
I thought so.
Yeah.
I did. It was kind of I don't know. So I know, like, with it, I obviously took like the approach of as in being alone, like as in kind of like just being single. But there's so many other ways you have to learn to be alone. You know what I mean? Like, it could even just be a mom who is finally getting 2 hours to herself because her husband's taking the kids out.
Oh.
And now she has these 2 hours alone and she doesn't know what to do with them, right? Like, just learning to enjoy solitude isn't just for single people. It's really for everybody.
That's a really good point because, especially not having kids, like that's something I don't think about. But, or now that you said it, I was even thinking about maybe, people that are like caring for an elder parent or something. Yeah. Like that would be another one where maybe they get a few hours by themselves and it's like, what do I do with it?
Yeah.
I think sometimes though, a lot of that kind of ties into an episode we recently did about like our identities. And so when our identities are wrapped up in a certain thing, we sometimes forget our own likes and dislikes, if you will.
Yeah.
I don't know a ton more, not now, but I've heard it in the past from like parents who are like, oh, I just forgot I even like to eat hot food. Like, how do you forget that? Like, I just got used to eating cold food with the kids because I'd make sure they were fed and they were doing this or whatever. And, and then as the kids age or something, they like sit down to a hot, fresh meal and like, oh, I really like this. And I'm like, who would forget that? But because something you're doing so consistently gets wrapped up that you kind of forget little things about, I mean, that's something really small about yourself, if you will, but you forget certain things about yourself.
Well, I just am thinking, you get those couple of hours or whatever, and you have to fight that guilt of, ugh, I need to get the house clean, or I should probably start making supper, or blah, 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 blah. Like, and it's like, maybe I actually just want to sit down and take a nap for 2 hours. Or maybe I want to read a book for 2 hours and just pretend like I don't exist. Or something,
Yeah.
Maybe I
Well,
want to go get my nails done. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Well, that would tie into a thing. I actually saw something the other day. Man, should have written this down. Didn't know we would even come to it today, but it was talking about a certain generation, and I don't remember them all. Like, I know what they are, but I don't remember who's in what one. But anyway, our generation is the first one that's trying to like figure out how to slow down. Because when we were growing up, like say you did have a grandmother in the picture, you probably never saw them stop. When you had a mom in the picture, you rarely saw them stopping and just sitting or stopping and taking it. Like there's always something to do. So it was kind of talking about how women tend to get a little bit programmed to constantly be being productive. So then if we're like, oh, we took 2 hours to ourselves and we decided to read a book instead of clean the house, get the laundry started, get this, like, then we feel bad.
Yeah.
So, well, that was interesting.
That's an interesting take on it. I don't know. I was thinking it was more because when we were kids, we were always the ones doing the laundry and cleaning the house. Well, Mom
Right?
took a little time to herself reading books.
Yeah, just Stephen King. He's like, I'm gonna find time to read.
Yeah.
I will obviously, like, everyone's life kind of leads to them to different places too. So,
Yeah.
I mean, listeners, if they get the idea, like, I don't have kids. I've been single for years. I've been single way more in my life than I've ever been in a relationship.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, being alone is not some weird concept to me at all. I just the other day had a friend gifted me a massage. And later she was asking me, she's like, oh, how was it? And I'm like, oh my God, it was great. And then I took myself out to dinner afterwards. I was like, I'm just going to take myself on a date today. I do that. Like, I wouldn't say every single month by any means, but if there's times where I feel like treating myself, like I will full on just like, let's go on a date. Where do you want to go? Like have a talk with myself and be like, oh yeah, let's get a glass of wine and go somewhere you don't normally go with friends. Like I take myself to places that maybe friends don't enjoy eating at.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to pretend I love Olive Garden and I don't know a lot of people that do. So that's one of my date places.
I like their soup.
Oh yeah, me too. And then I also like this, the Angry Crab, or like a crab place. And I have friends that will go there with me, but they live so far across town that that's like when we meet up. So sometimes in between I'm craving it. So I'll take myself there on a date sometimes too. I'm like, oh, that's my date time. And then I'll order a gin because that's not something I usually drink when I'm out and about. Like I treat myself like it's full on like date and I don't have a problem doing it.
Yeah. And I remember you and I discussing this. So after that second divorce, I was like, Jesus, like, I don't even know how to be single, how to be alone.
Right.
And I remember you saying, like, well, you were single back after your first divorce. And I'm like, I was, but I had 2 little kids. And those little kids were always with me. I was never alone. So going out to eat, going to do anything, they were with me.
Right.
Whereas now, those little kids are adults, and it turns out they have lives and they don't necessarily hang out with their mama so much anymore.
Weird.
I don't like
They
it.
just don't realize how cool you are.
They definitely both still hang out with me, but
You're the first person they call to hang out with. Are you kidding me?
Who are we gonna call? Let's call Mom. See if she wants to hang out with us tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, the first time going to a restaurant by myself, I was so uncomfortable.
Mm.
And I remember at one point, Big J is the person who taught me that you can walk into a restaurant and sit at the bar and you don't even have to be drinking. I always thought I had to be drinking if I was going to sit at the bar, and you don't have to. Turns out, I had no idea, you guys. I had no idea.
Yeah. You want to know, honestly, I just want to say, like, you're not even crazy, because I have to remind myself that. There was a time I wanted to go, Texas Roadhouse is another huge favorite of mine.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
but I would want to go there, and I'm thinking, man, I do not feel like a drink today. I'm like, I feel bad ordering iced tea at the bar. And I'm a freaking bartender. And I can straight up tell you, I have people, at least one person per shift, sometimes 2 or 3, that do not have a drink at my bar. They have iced tea, water. They don't have an alcoholic beverage at my bar. It does not bother me. And I had to mentally remind myself that. I'm like, Charlie, you have people do it to you and it doesn't bother you. Like, you enjoy their company just as much as anyone else's. I'm like, yeah, why do I feel like I have to be different? And so I understand your thought on that, because even in the industry, I have to remind myself, like, it's totally okay to sit at a bar and not have a cocktail.
I had no clue.
Yeah.
And
For sure it is. Listeners, if you've ever debated it, it is absolutely okay. And it's okay if all you drink is water. As long as you're tipping according to your bill, it is what it is.
right. And let me just say, as a server, man, I would prefer you single people to go sit at the bar and not take up my rotation with your one top, please.
Yeah, for
Sit
sure.
at the bar.
For sure. Dude, you know what? Just the other day, I had so many dang single people at my bar. It was wild, like wildly full of singles. And I had to keep shuffling chairs, because then like a couple might come in. And like, I'm like, oh, can you move next to this person so then I can open these 2 chairs? Because everyone wants to leave a chair in between them. But we're so dang busy. I'm like, you guys got to move together. They're like, oh, okay. But,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's absolutely, I agree. For single people, I'm like, I'd rather you sit at the bar anyway. I wouldn't say it happens every time, but I try not to take a book with me in those situations. Like if I'm going into a restaurant. Now, if I'm going to an area where I'm going to maybe be sitting on the patio and just chilling by myself, then I might take a book and relax, enjoy that kind of thing. But if I'm going to the bar, I try not to pull out a book. Not saying you can't, but I just open myself up to conversation with people around me sometimes too, which can be fun.
I do not do that.
I'm
I
sure
have
you
no
don't.
information to share with them. So shut it down.
You're like, do not talk. Oh man, I used truly, I used to enjoy taking myself to the movies. Now, this was more in my like probably mid 20s to early 30s, because I felt like there's a lot of good movies coming out.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it because I didn't have to schedule a time with anyone. I didn't have to pre-plan it. I could just be sitting here thinking, oh man, I did want to watch that movie and I'm free today. I'm going to go. Let me see what time it's playing. Done. Like, didn't think twice about it. Now, in the past, like I've quit going, but only because I haven't found any good movies worth really going to the theater for.
Yeah.
Minus Maverick.
Well, obviously Maverick. We went.
Yeah. But otherwise, I'm like, there's not anything that good out that I can't wait till I can watch it at home.
I got to be honest. I'm looking forward to this F1.
I don't even know what that is.
It's got Brad Pitt and shoot. But it's about Formula One racing.
Oh, okay.
I know. Maybe not your cup of tea. Did you like Ford versus Ferrari?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. So I think you might enjoy F1, just like based on the trailers or whatever.
Okay.
And that's one I think I would go see in the theater.
Okay.
Which is
Yeah,
actually,
like
oh,
Go
I
ahead,
was
sorry.
just gonna say it's kind of funny because I had work the other day and Big J was saying something about, I think I'm gonna go to the movies. I was like, oh yeah, what are you gonna go see? And he's like, yeah, I think F1's out. I was like, what? You can't go without me? But then I had to stop. Exactly.
Yeah.
But then I had to stop and be like, you know what? He could absolutely go watch that movie without me because I'm at work. And you know what? Go do your thing. Like, enjoy yourself. Do what you want to do. He very
Yeah.
much enjoys his solitude. Like, he enjoys his own company and things like that. And I don't want to take that away from him. So I'm like, yes, please go take yourself to the movies. Do whatever you want to do. I have things to do anyways. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that too, it's finding, I think it's important to want to spend time by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, in a relationship, like say you're like, oh man, we both want to watch this. Do we have time to find the time for us to go together? But if you don't, like, do it on your own time, I'll do it on my own time, whatever the case is. But I think it's so important to enjoy that and know that for me, man, and because I think with like in my early years, if I was doing anything, it's like I felt like I almost had to call someone to do it with me.
Mm.
Almost. I wouldn't say like everything, but like I wouldn't say that I was at a point where I couldn't do something by myself. I just didn't want to. I wanted people around me.
Okay.
So as I've gotten older now, I've just gotten really used to, I like to do things alone. And it was even, would have been probably in my late 20s. I remember getting a roommate and I'd been living alone for quite a while and we move in together. So first of all, like, I'm going to run over to Walmart and grab some stuff at the Walmart, you know. She's like, do you want me to go with you? I'm like, no, I'm fine. Well, she'd never lived with someone. I mean, she'd lived with other, like her family and stuff before, but it's like her first real big time, like moving out. Like, I was like, I'm cool. Oh, there she was going to Walmart with me. And then be like, I'm going to go to the grocery store. Like, it took a few weeks of me being like, oh my God, she's up my butt. But she wasn't trying to be. She was just like, oh, we just do stuff. And mind you, we were like best friends, so we did a bunch of stuff together anyway.
Right.
But I was like, oh, I'm really used to spending some time alone. And even going to the grocery store, going to the Walmart at first was like, no, please don't go with me. Like, I don't need company for this. But I swear to God, after a few weeks of us like figuring it out, I'm like, do you want to go to Walmart together? Like, I got used to having someone to do that stuff with me. So then I'm like, you want to go with me?
That's funny. And I feel like I just took a lot of, I don't know, everything for me was just, it honestly was about learning to be alone. And so, after that second divorce, and then at that point, the kids are older. And then it was, oh my God, I'm going to the store by myself and I don't really know what to do with this. Or, I'm sitting here and it's Monday night and nobody's here. Like, nobody's here for me to talk to. Nobody's here for me to make dinner for. I don't even know what to do.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, what am I supposed to be doing here? So confusing to me. So, yeah, I mean, obviously I figured it out. It's fine.
Well,
A lot of cheese and cracker plates later.
Yeah. You know what though? Because I don't think I'm really like, I probably fell in love with cooking about like my mid 30s.
Okay.
And I was in a relationship at the time, so it was cool. Like I was enjoying making dishes for us, this and that. After that second divorce, I'm like, I don't know how to cook a recipe for less than 2 people. Like, my God, right? Like, so I kind of just quit cooking for a while. I mean, I was a little depressed too, but that's not the point of that story. So kind of as I was coming through it, whatever, I get to the point where I'm like, I want to cook again. Like, I enjoy cooking. It's something that like is fun to me. It relaxes me. And I do believe we were in a family group chat where I made a comment about wanting to cook something. And I'm like, I don't want all these leftovers. And if I can remember right, I think it was our niece was like, she's like, Aunt Charlie, just freeze them. And I mentally was like, why didn't I think about that? But I think I was making like a big pot of soup or something.
Yeah.
And it makes so much. I'm like, I don't want to eat this for 5 straight days. And so I wasn't going to make it. And she's like, freeze it. I'm like, duh. Oh my God. Like, why didn't I think that? obviously some meals you can't freeze, but that was another small thing about learning to be alone and still embrace something I enjoyed doing, which was cooking.
Yeah.
And finding like what does or doesn't freeze good, what would or wouldn't like go back to work with me in a few days, or if I made this big old this roast recipe I love, not roast potatoes and carrots. Obviously, that is one I love. But I have another roast recipe. So then, like, trying to come up with different ideas to make different meals out of it, as it made a lot. So something that simple, but that's something you got to learn, being alone.
Yeah. And you know what's funny? I would say in that respect, I feel like I almost took like an opposite where I've always cooked and I enjoy cooking. I like to try new recipes. I had no clue how to cook for less than 4. So, which is still a skill that I'm working on, to be honest.
Yeah.
But what I found out is, like I was saying, where I was just like, oh, nobody's here for me to cook for. I don't know what to do. And I ended up with, I would just eat like cheese and crackers or some veggies or whatever. And what I have found is how much I absolutely love just having random snacky items instead of a full-on meal. I love it.
Yeah. Because when you have a family, you feel like you got to prepare an entire meal for them.
A whole meal.
And I remember when Mom was out here like a year and a half ago or something. She was out here for like a month and a half hanging. And I'm like, Mom, I'm Big G's like, what are you cooking your mom for dinner? We're having some popcorn and some cheese and crackers. I think we're fine. And I'm like, Big G cooks meals. I'm like, I do still enjoy cooking for sure, but I maybe max it out usually at 2 days a week. Max.
Yeah.
And if that didn't make leftovers, I don't even care because I'm going to snack on something else or frozen pizza's a go-to of mine too. Little Totino's.
Yeah.
Action. But yeah, cheese and crackers. And, our mom was like, oh, I don't care. She loves cheese and crackers and like some carrots cut up, maybe throw a few olives on the tray too, just to mix it up a little bit. And like, good. We're good to go.
Yes.
And I would agree with you. I never had like that huge family to have to cook for, but I can imagine that pressure of it, right?
I mean, it's so freeing to just be like, man, I don't give a shit what you guys are eating. Nobody was home.
Yeah.
All adults. Guess what I had? I went to McDonald's and got myself a cheeseburger. No, I would never actually go to McDonald's to get myself a cheeseburger.
Like, it'd be Wendy's.
I went to Freddy's and got myself a cheeseburger. I don't
Dude,
know
I
what
love
the
Freddy's. Freddy's is the bomb.
I do love Freddy's.
Dude, I know their cheeseburgers are so dang good. And they come with all the toppings I like, so I don't have to leave anything off. I don't have to worry about them messing up my order. I'm like straight up just how it comes.
Yeah.
Mustard, onion, pickle, gold.
You know what's so funny is I was thinking you didn't like onion on yours.
Oh, yeah, I do.
That must be the flower child I'm thinking of.
Probably. Sometimes I'm not in the mood for pickles, but I'll still just pull them off and eat them separately because I don't want them actually on the burger. But so one pickle, just not on the burger. And this is going to throw maybe a little controversy out there. But I actually also really enjoy, and I've found this out over the past, let's say probably 2 years more so, that I really enjoy drinking alone. And I know, but the reason I'm saying like,
ding, 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 ding.
I know.
I think we're going to have an intervention for Charlie soon.
Yeah, she's an alcoholic. And the truth of the matter is, though, what I was just talking to someone the other day about this, and they looked at me and they're like, dude, I totally agree. And I was like, oh, so you don't think it's weird? And they're like, no. But I'm my literal favorite company. And if I'm by myself, like I can choose what music's on. I can choose whatever time I decide to throw that frozen pizza in the oven. If I get the urge to start cleaning, I can just start cleaning. No one's going to be like, I'm entertaining company over here.
Yeah.
And I just have like my own vibe going. And like I said, I realized it a few years ago because I get in the mood to chit chat, and my friends know, like, they're like, oh, she's by herself because I'll start shooting them a few text messages like, hey, what are you guys doing or something. But after a few messages, I've usually found something else start entertaining me, and now my music's changed or something, and I'm dancing. And then when I'm tired, I can just go to bed. Like I'm not stuck entertaining company that isn't leaving yet or whatever the case might be. And it was, like I said, a few years back, and I was jamming to some music and having a good time, and I'd invited a friend over. And the friend came over and they're like, can we do some different tunes? I'm like, yeah, it's like I had a whole vibe going here. And so I put on some other tunes and they weren't as good. So then I kind of lost that. And then the friend wanted to chat about something I didn't want to chat about. And I'm like, and this is a good friend. They weren't doing anything wrong. I had just already been at my own vibing level. So that's what I mean by it is, yes, of course I enjoy having cocktails with other people and conversing and stuff. But sometimes when I'm just feeling like in my own self, because I have learned to be alone and truly, truly enjoy it, that I'm like, oh yeah, there. People are like, oh, you got plans? I'm like, yeah, I do. Really, the plan is a bottle of wine, frozen pizza, and music in my backyard. But I'm like, yes, I do have plans. No, I can't change them. I don't feel like hanging out with you right now. Not really, just like I said, just little stuff that I don't know, man.
Yeah.
But again, I've been single for more of my life than anything. So
I think it's more just about embracing yourself, embracing your own company. And it doesn't matter necessarily what you're doing. I know even just recently, so the flower child, I don't know if any of our listeners know this or not, but the All American Rejects were doing some kind of backyard tour. And it's totally free, but to get tickets, you had to put something on TikTok, post a video. Listen, I don't know. It was all a little out of my comfort zone there, but
I don't know what these kids are doing these days.
what the hell's going on over here? Anyway, so the flower child did it, and I said something to her about, oh, it'd kind of suck if you got a ticket and old Dollface, her boyfriend, didn't. And
Dollface?
that's what we're going to call him for now.
I love it. I love it.
And she says, why would that be weird? I was like, well, because then you'd have to go to the concert by yourself. And she's like, I don't care. I was like, oh. Anyways, it doesn't matter. They both did end up getting a ticket. They went and had a great time. But I was just so shocked I shouldn't have been shocked because it's the flower child. She'll do any damn thing by herself.
Right.
But I was just thinking in my head, oh my God, I wouldn't even know what to do to go to a concert by myself. I would never.
I don't feel like you would do it.
I wouldn't.
I remember debating one a few years back, and I'm trying to remember why I didn't end up going. I think there was something else happened that same day, but it would have been my first concert by myself. Like, it's not something I've done before. But I was willing, I'll tell you, it was for Kip Moore, and I was willing to go do it. I just think, I feel like I ended up being out of town the same day he was coming here or something. So, but I debated. So I haven't actually done a concert by myself, but at this stage, I totally would.
Yeah.
That wouldn't bother me. And then I wanted I thought of,
I don't do large crowds in general. Like, large crowds stress me out. And so that's not, even with people, that's not something I'm going to enjoy anyways.
Right. Wouldn't be your thing. I will say I've had to, there's a fine line because I always am like, love being alone, learn to love yourself. Like, I feel bad when people don't really know how to be alone. But then I have to remind myself, like, I don't necessarily feel bad because I immediately like, oh, you don't love yourself. And that's not true. It could be that their life just hasn't led to them getting alone time.
Yeah.
So, and like you were saying, then they get 2 whole hours and they don't know what to do with them because they're not used to having that alone time.
Yeah. I
Um,
think it has more to do with almost not knowing, not that you don't love yourself, but just being out of touch with yourself. Like you haven't touched yourself enough lately.
yeah, which is always a problem.
But no, I think you can get so out of touch with yourself in life as life's handing you different responsibilities, different roles. And if you're sitting there and you're like, you could be somebody who's alone a lot, but you work all the time. Well, take that work away. Like work is your companion instead of a person. But
Yeah.
once you take that work away, sit and be in solitude for a minute. Like just sit and be quiet and figure out what you like to do. Because I think that's the big thing is people just don't know enough about who they are outside of maybe those certain roles, like how we had talked about in that previous episode.
Yeah. And maybe because it just didn't, and like you said, sometimes it's just life hands them different stuff or whatever, and you don't get the opportunity. I also kind of want to touch on this a bit that I've noticed about myself is I've gotten so used to being alone that now if someone comes into that, it can like bother me sometimes. And I think there's a really fine line there. Like I have to be really aware of that and be like, is that fine line? Because, like I said, in a drinking situation, I'm like, oh, I'm vibing, having a good time. Now, just say someone came over or they're wanting to chat, and I'm like, I usually sit down and watch my Netflix shows. Like, you can go now. When really, it probably did me good to have the company because I haven't talked to someone in maybe sometimes 2 days. That's really rare for me, but I could go up to 2 days, not really talk to anyone besides some text messages. And all of a sudden someone's face to face with me and I'm like, oh, this is weird. This is awkward. And I'm like, Charlie, it's not awkward. Like it's normal to interact with people face to face. So there can be a very fine line where I'm like, are they affecting your vibe or are you just so damn used to being alone that you don't always know how to share space anymore?
Yeah.
But I did also kind of remember reading this quote about for dating. And it said something like, you got to understand at this point in her life, you're competing with her solitude. Like you're not competing with other men.
Right.
You're competing with her solitude. And I'm like, that is such a true statement for me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I truly do enjoy my own company. And that's why sometimes I'm like, maybe a little too much because I've gotten used to being alone and not having to. If I want to eat dinner at 5, I eat at 5. If I want to wait till 7 to even start cooking, I wait till 7.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about when someone else is hungry or just little shit like that.
Yeah.
So
I can see that. So obviously over the past, several years, I've definitely learned to enjoy my solitude a lot more. But I definitely am not bothered. And I think it's maybe just because I've always been so used to having people in my space, if that makes sense. So
yeah.
I'm not bothered by, if one of the kids pops in or, whatever. I can totally handle anything like that. But I have definitely gotten more where, if people, well, I pretend like I have friends that invite me out or something.
You have a whopping like 2, I think.
So like sometimes it happens like once a year where somebody will be like, "Hey, you want to hang out?" And I'm like, I'm reading a fucking book. No, I'm good."
I, I've definitely done that with a book. I have a friend who is also single, so we tend to do a lot of little stuff together. And it was a while back we had to make I wouldn't say a pact by any means, but something similar like that had happened where like, hey, you want to go to Lowe's? One of our favorite places to go hang out at. And I was like, I'm reading a book. So you don't want to go? And I'm like, wait, oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Is this one of those situations to where we had to start telling each other, hey, this is a situation where I literally do need a friend right now to just spend some time with someone,
Oh,
like just to have that human interaction. But because we're both really used to being alone, but it's also not uncommon to just be like, oh, you want to go do this together, right? So, but we're just who we are. So yeah, I was like, I'm reading a book, and then I was like, I'm sorry, was this one of those situations where I really need to put the book down and you want to go hang? Oh, kind of. Oh, okay, then the book's down. I can totally make that happen. But and I'll have to do the same like for him sometimes. I'm like, you want to go do this? He's like, not really. Like, did you need a friend right now? I'm like, yeah, I kind of do. I haven't been out of the house in a few days, and I think I need to be around somebody. Like, so don't feel bad about turning plans down to read a book because I've definitely
yeah.
done that too.
Well, in my case, I should be like, listen, it's that one time a year that somebody's inviting you out. Maybe you should go. Like,
Yeah.
you've read 10 books this year, or you read 10 books this week.
Yeah.
Maybe it's okay to put it down. Wow.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Go hang out with a friend. Oh, yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. There's a fine line in there. There's a real fine line of figuring out, and you got to know yourself with doing that of how often do you need social interaction? How often do you not? Not seclude yourself too far, but also not be lost when you are secluded.
Yeah.
So I would say our lesson learned and growth earned is start enjoying your alone time. Get to know yourself, your likes, your dislikes, because it's going to keep you also from settling for anything in the future.
Yeah. In our next episode, we're going to explore society changing. You're going to get our hot take on it. Thanks for listening. Until next time, go out there and be your favorite self.
And if you are enjoying what you hear, make sure to leave a review to help others find us. And like and follow on your favorite listening platform to catch all our future episodes.